Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Berger. This is Justice for All. We're talking to Lawrence Eichen. Lawrence, before we went to commercial break, we were talking about EFT, and I was thinking in my mind, when we're talking about mind, spirit, body, I'm thinking yoga and meditation. How has EFT helped you?
Okay, so that's a great question. First of all, in terms of yoga and meditation, you know, those are great practices. People, you know, that widespread use yoga all the time, meditate all the time. I actually got into yoga during this pandemic because there were some free yoga classes being offered online. I figured, why not? I had the time. So I get the yoga thing and I get meditation, although I've never been a meditator. So tapping, just to compare them, tapping to those two practices, those seem to take, you know, a considerable amount of effort. You need to almost get peaceful, take the time to go through a yoga practice. Maybe you need 20 minutes or 30 minutes to do yoga. Meditation, maybe you can do it really fast, but I think most people spend some time trying to get quiet and all that stuff to do meditation. How tapping compares to that, and one of the reasons that I gravitated towards tapping is that it's relatively quick, and I can do it anywhere at any time. I could do it in my office, I could do it in my car, if I'm not driving, let's say, I'm just in a parking lot or something like that. I could do it at home. You can just do it anywhere, and I don't need to get a yoga mat. I don't need to find, you know, some serene spot to meditate, right? So that's just a quick how it differs in a sense. And how I use it beneficially is, it's really just to improve myself, really, to become a better version of myself. And as I said earlier, it's just when I get out of balance or feel something's not right, and that usually manifests in stress or anxiety, right? That's usually how we kind of sense something's not right. So if I get into something that I feel is really giving me a lot of stress or anxiety, I will then just tap on it, you know? And it may not be a legal matter, it could be anything that might be causing something like that. But it helps in terms of a legal practice only because if I'm a better person and I'm more at peace, then I'm going to perform better as an attorney. You know, it's just common sense. So anybody who's using tapping, it's really for your own personal peace, and then you just take that and carry that with you in whatever, you know, occupation or endeavor you are in. I just think it's just something that can help with performance. And I use an analogy many times that, you know, a good athlete, right? When they perform at their highest level, right? Usually when they have an inner calm or an inner peace, an inner knowing or inner belief about their abilities, that's when they perform at their highest level. They get out of their own way is another way of saying that. And so that applies to, you know, practice of law, you know, too, or practice of any profession. When you can get out of your own way, feel that inner peace and that calmness, you're going to function better. I don't care what you're doing. You're always going to function, in my view, this is my opinion, that when you're at your most calm, in your most loving manner, you are at your most powerful. And
so is that how you incorporate it into negotiation? So take us through a scenario of how you would incorporate this EFT into a negotiation.
Okay, well, I just touched on it. Let's say I want to be at my best during this negotiation, right? And maybe I've got not a great case. I've got a client that's not very credible. The facts are against me. The law may be against me. Maybe my adversary is a real pain in the neck type person. So there's a lot of variables that are not working for me, right? Let's just assume it's something like that. And I might have a situation where, you know, my client is facing real potential consequences if I don't get him the deal that I want to get for him, right? So that can cause me a lot of stress, right? Because that's just part of the nature of being an attorney. We take on this responsibility and stress. So I want to be at my best when I'm negotiating. And maybe this case has a lot of facts and a lot of stuff to think about and react to and be on, you know, we have to think on our feet. So I want to put myself in the calmest state that I can be in. So just to give an example of negotiating strength, one of the ways to be a very effective negotiator is to be calm, right? And to be confident. And so being calm would be quieting my mind, getting myself into a state where I will have better access to the information that I'm trying to store in my mind to use when it's appropriate. When I'm calm, I'll be able to think on my feet better. I'll be able to have a rebuttal to some other counterpoint that my adversary is using against me, right? So it's getting myself into a calm state. It's getting myself to be more confident. Sometimes confidence, I like to say, is there's a lot of components to confidence, right? It's knowledge, preparation, and belief, and experience. To me, those are the 4 pillars of being confident, right? So one of them might be belief, right? Belief is really important. It's never a good look if the attorney doesn't believe in what he's negotiating for, right? And sometimes it's hard for us to believe it because we don't have great facts and we don't have a great client, right? But I gotta believe it. I've gotta make you believe in what I'm saying too, right? And that also ties into subconscious beliefs, as I touched on earlier in our conversation. I've gotta really believe I'm gonna get an excellent result. I've got to really believe that, because if I don't have a message inside of me that is supportive of that I'm going to get this, I'm fighting a little bit against myself and I'm fighting a little bit uphill. So tapping can be used to make sure that you unblock any of these beliefs that are going on within yourself that you are either aware of or not aware of. And that's just another example of how I might use it to improve my performance in negotiating or in litigating a case.
So essentially anything that's holding you back, you're trying to release that energy so that you can be at your peak for this negotiation.
Absolutely. You want to feel liberated in a way, you know? And when I say liberated, it's just like I just don't want anything getting in the way of my performance, because I'm at my best when I instinctively react, when I'm clear, have that clarity of purpose, have that clarity of mind. And that's not always easy to be at that peak level, as I said, for so many different reasons, right? Not to mention a lot of attorneys, you know, you're juggling a lot of cases, you're going from one courthouse to the next. There's a lot on our shoulders sometimes. So all I'm saying is, it's not that I can't negotiate it when I'm stressed out, because believe me, I've negotiated many times when I'm stressed out. I mean, that's almost like de facto the way we negotiate. I'm just saying, hey, if I have the opportunity to see something here that maybe I've got some time to tap on this, why not? It's, you know, why not? Why not get to a better state so I'm more effective? It doesn't mean that I'm always super calm and in this quiet meditative state when I'm negotiating. That's not the case. But I will say this. And I don't lose my passion or my energy by getting calm. It's anything, it's just way more effective.
I was going to say, it sounds more focused.
It's more focused, like a laser.
Exactly, you're just more focused because you're just simply focused your mind on a specific issue.
Yes, well, think
or
of it this
case.
Or a case. It's not only just being focused on the issue, but it's when you're focused and when you're really, when you're in the zone, okay, you can be much more pinpoint with your arguments. You could be much more in a good state to receive that pushback or the objection that's coming your way. You're just at a higher level of performance than you might otherwise be, but you don't become like dull or passive being calm. If anything, I think you just become more forceful, more accurate, more laser-like in your arguments, and they're more persuasive. Because ultimately it's about persuading your adversary or persuading a judge, right, or persuading a jury. And you want to be in a position to be the most effective that you can. And so getting yourself into that state, getting out of your own way, is just another another effort to get there.
So
I should have tapped on that before I said that.
but it was very focused.
It really was. I didn't tap before I came out. That's what happened there. I stumbled on my words. Okay.